Welcome to a new daily top Askreddit video. Today's topic. Teachers of Reddit, what are some of the weirdest things you've confiscated from a student? A sugar glider. Kept hearing a high-pitched squeak in class. Noticed she had a small animal in her jacket pocket when it decided to poke its head out. A student brought one of these to my class. I teach college, so that was fine and I was super excited and she let me hold it. The students were busy doing some group work, and when they were just about done I went to hand it back to her. It then proceeded to leap down the front of my shirt and attach itself to my bra. So now I'm supposed to be lecturing again, but this girl's sugar glider is not only sitting in my cleavage, but running around under my shirt. More than half the class had no idea why I was distracted, or why I shoved my hand down between my boobs until I finally got the little guy out. The following year a different student's hedgehog peed on me. What kind of college do you work at? I only ever saw puppies in class. A little orange lizard in a box with a Charizard Pokemon card taped to it. Edit, to clarify, the card was taped to the box. Edit, wow, this blew up, now I understand the meaning of inbox spammed. To the box or the lizard? To the box. A vitamin B12 vape pen. Didn't know they existed. Now watch the kids vaping e-cigs get shamed for not smoking a vitamin vape. That's why they exist. Your lungs don't absorb B12, but your brain is adept at absorbing marketing wank. Shame on anyone who doesn't vape their 5 a day though. A homemade arrow made with a pencil and a modified razor blade. Was this in prison? Nope. High school in Averagetown, USA. My father took a cleaver off a student. My dad was doing lunch duty and saw the kid open his jacket and motion his buddies to have a look. Turns out there was going to be a fight after school. My dad knew the kid and asked him to step into the hallway. He got the cleaver off the kid and took him to the office. I'm not sure what his punishment was, but pre-Columbine, so who knows. In 7th grade I accidentally brought a hunting knife to school. I'd been playing with it at home, flipping it and trying to catch it by the handle. I was doing this while it was fastened in a sheath, so no danger or anything. Well, I missed and dropped it. Couldn't find where it went and figured I'd just find it later. Well, I forgot about it. Fast forward about a week. It's the end of the day and I'm cleaning out my backpack at school. Found the knife at the bottom of the bag. Yeah, I'd been carrying the thing to and from school for a week and didn't know. I just shoved it back into the bag before anyone saw and then took it out once I got home. So lucky I didn't get caught with it. I did the same once, except this was in England and the knife was a banana and I'd lost it for over a month. Not confiscated but actually given as a gift. A bag of her hair. A bag of every strand of hair she's had cut since birth. That's probably the oddest one here, honestly. It was definitely the weirdest thing I've ever received as a gift. She was so excited about it, too. I knew the mom well, so I messaged her asking if she had meant to give that to me. Apparently, she had stolen it from her keepsake box. I happily returned it. Not gagging over it was the hardest thing ever, especially because I was newly pregnant and had awful morning sickness. In music class this kid Oliver pulls out a Matchbox car and starts playing. Teacher takes it, turn around, places it on piano, turns back. He's already gotten the next one out of his pocket and it back to playing. So she took it again. Rinse repeat. Funniest shit ever to an 8-year-old, we laughed so fucking hard. This kid will someday fill a swimming pool with Matchbox cars and would jump on it from the height of 10 meters. I understood that reference. Sounds like something my 9-year did this year. Today's the last day of school and I have to go in and get them all from the office plus his camera lol. The naked lady booby lighter. Kid was 7th or 8th grade in an alternative school setting. He was always sneaking stuff in his pockets and getting it taken up. We are walking to lunch and my assistant stops suddenly. He comes back with a metal naked woman torso in his hand. You could press one boob and the flame came out of the other. It was fantastic. It was super popular in the office for the few days until mom came to pick it up. She was really glad to get family heirloom back. Upvoted for family heirloom. Thanks, those were the mother's words. Apparently, it had been handed down from her father to her son, who thought that sneaking it into school was a good idea. When I was in junior high, 7th and 8th grade, I sold the Naked Lady Booby ink pen. While you're writing, she had clothes on, but turn it upside down and her clothes would come off. I could buy a box of a dozen for $2 and I was selling them for $1 EA. Made a mint. I respect the hustle. A pencil with a bunch of glued on dick-shaped confetti. Till there's dick-shaped confetti. A white lacy thong from a kindergartner, she was wearing it on her head. Reminds me of that one Vine. Hey Jason, what's on your face? A sticker. https://be/beg25iopii. Not a teacher but a kid brought a human skull to school. I think the teacher just had a conversation with him about it. Edit to answer some questions, the skull was real. The kid was a baddie. His folks were more likely meth cooks than doctors. It didn't get donated. The school in question was near a rural mountain area where a lot of people lived who wanted to be left alone. The provenance of the skull was, at the most conservative, dubious. Was it real? Yes. He was only trying to perform Hamlet. A raccoon penis toothpick. He kept poking other kids with it. Sigh. What? Most mammals have bones in their penis. Look up walrus if you want to be amazed. So they kill the coon, cut its cock, carve the bone. Sorry, I couldn't think of a C word for bones. Edit, guys, thanks for all the replies. I know it's speculum, just didn't think it would help op. Also thanks for fixing my poor attempt at doggerel, everyone. A raccoon penis toothpick. He kept poking other kids with it. Sigh. Not really bizarre, but very memorable. I had to take a water bottle that contained some type of fruity vodka. Had to smell it to be sure. I only knew to check because the student was recognizably drunk. This was an 8th grader. Edit, well. This blew up. My top comment is now officially about underage drinking in school. Too many comments to respond to all of them, but yes, it is common. A teacher catching it is not always as common though. Yeah, we go through that one every couple of years. This year's version was a cannabis vape which some dumbass 7th graders used to get freak out paranoid stoned. One of them had a meltdown in the cafeteria. Oh god, I can just imagine those kids smoking weed for the first time at school. I can't think of a worst instance to be stoned for the first time. My welding professor in high school nearly murdered our class after he found a water bottle full of vodka in the garbage after class. The kid had been drinking while welding and the teacher in the next class reported that the kid was beginning to appear drunk. Drinking in school is dumb. Drinking while operating dangerous equipment is just flat out stupid. I work in petrochem plants with contractors / pipe fitters. Hearing the old stories, operating welders with a buzz used to be the norm. One guy a co-worker used to work with literally said, "You don't want to see me weld sober." I had to confiscate a 7th grader's iPod because he was looking up AIM girl body pillows. Somewhat related, my wife got a kid banned from Chromebooks in school because he was trying to look at porn on them, but he was in middle school so he was really bad at it. So like, she saw him looking at inappropriate pictures and he said it was an accident, so she went into the search history. It was image search for girls. Hot girls. Hot girls underwear. Hot girls 6. Hot girls sex. Hot girls 6 is brilliant. This reminds me of something that happened a few years after I graduated from high school. A 10th grader had his tablet confiscated because he was looking at furry porn and he tried claiming that it was part of his religion as an animal kin and that he needed to watch those videos on the regular to satisfy his animal instincts. Ooh. I need to satisfy my animal instincts. Cries, B but my animal instincts. W. A taxidermied kookaburra. She'd taught herself how to do it from books. It was not done well. Edit. Just to clarify, apparently it was dead, having been hit by a car, when she found it. Kookaburra sits in the old gum tree. Very very dead on the road was he. Camp counselor here. We have permission to go through bags to confiscate prohibited items like food and electronics and knives. One girl had a Tupperware full of what looked like the oldest peanut butter imaginable smeared all over the Tupperware. I brought it to my co-workers, and we all tried to smell it, but it smelled different to all of us. Literally no clue what this shit was. Asked the girl about it one day and she goes, that's my plant, like it's obvious. Apparently it was some kind of fungus or algae to apply to sunburns. Edit, it's in the woods. They can't keep food on them because of bears and other wildlife. We aren't starving them, I promise. WTF, aloe. Modi aloe. Google is returning nothing for fungus and sunburn. I think I should actually be thankful for that. Aloe will often turn brown after you cut it straight from the plant and let it age. I think it should be refrigerated, so it probably went old. Student. A teacher confiscated a dildo from a student. This was in 7th grade. After reading the title, my first thought was, I'm sure there will be a dildo comment here. I click and I see yours first. It is not a dildo, it is just a meat substitute. I thought at first they confiscated a student, and then I finished reading. My friend had a dildo confiscated in kindergarten. Edit, we were the students. He found it in mom and dad's room. It was actually a vibrator. We were building blocks and putting it in between the block towers and turning it on and laughing at the vibrations knocking the towers over. We message every now and then on Facebook and it's always about the vibrator. r/hol up.